Today's program is brought to you by OTCStockShark.com. For the latest and greatest OTC and Pink Sheets information, sign up for your account at OTCStockShark.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.
In today's financial news, U.S. stocks climbed, boosted by a rosy earnings forecast in the financial sector and a boost in energy stocks as oil prices climbed. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 122 points, or 1.3% in recent trading. The S&P 500 added 1.2%, or 1,040, trading at the level that has provided significant resistance in recent weeks. Both measures were led by their financial components, while the energy and technology sectors were also strong. The rally comes as the market attempts to extend their gains, bouncing back from a rough June that sent stocks to their lowest point this year. The declines came on concerns about global economy thanks to debt troubles in the Eurozone and a slowdown in China. Investors are seeing the upcoming earnings reporting season as the next catalyst that could propel the market out of the slump. JP Morgan rose 2.4% and Bank of America advanced 1.9%. The advance came after money manager State Street projected second quarter profits well above analysis forecast, citing improving revenue trends. State Street, which isn't a Dow component, jumped 8.7%.
In U.S. news, U.S. Justice Department is filing a lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of Arizona's tough new law targeting illegal immigrants. The planned lawsuit was confirmed to the Associated Press by a Justice Department official with knowledge of the plans. The official didn't want to be identified before a public announcement planned for later this week. The lawsuit will argue that Arizona's new measure requiring state and local police to question and possibly arrest illegal immigrants during the enforcement of other laws like traffic stops. President Barack Obama has called the state law misguided. Supporters say it is a reasonable reaction to federal inaction on immigration.
In today's international news, scientists at the center of a controversy over the reliability of climate research were found to be honest and rigorous, but lacking in openness in the final inquiry into hacked emails at the UK's Climatic Research Unit at the University of East Anglia. The inquiry, which was chaired by former civil servant Muir Russell and commissioned by the university, also said it found no evidence of behavior from scientists that would undermine the conclusions of the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change's assessments on global warming. Mr. Russell said, "We find that their rigor and honesty as scientists are not in doubt. In addition, we do not find that their behavior has prejudiced the balance of advice given to policymakers." The Independent Climate Change Emails Review was set up to examine the conduct of the scientists involved, investigate allegations about the behavior of the scientists, and make recommendations to the UEA. The issues have been at the heart of a debate over the reliability of data supporting the conclusion that climate change is happening and is man-made. The debate overshadowed last year's Copenhagen Climate Conference, where world leaders failed to agree to a legally binding treaty to curb greenhouse gas emissions. The university's Climate Research Unit has come under increasing attack following last year's publication without authorization of about 1,000 hacked emails from the unit concerning its raw data on global temperatures. Climate skeptics said the emails showed the unit manipulated and suppressed data to overstate the dangers posed by climate change. But the Muir-Russell inquiry, which considered detailed submissions from climate researchers and critics, as well as interviews with key scientists, dismissed those accusations. The Climate Change Emails Review is the third and final inquiry on the matter. The first inquiry, conducted by UK lawmakers, cleared the UEA scientist of any wrongdoing.
These are the most powerful songs of all time. Time Life presents Classical Power on 5 CDs for just $29.99. But wait, order in the next 10 minutes with your credit card, and we'll cut the price to just $14.99. That's right, you get 5 CDs for just $14.99. Then preview other beautiful classical CDs, satisfaction guaranteed. This collection is not sold in stores, so call now and get Time Life's Classical Power on 5 CDs for just $14.99.
Call 1-800-731-0511 to order Classical Power for $14.99 plus shipping when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card or order online at timelife.com/power.
In health news, too much time spent watching television and playing video games can double the risk of attention problems in children and young adults. The study is the latest of many to point out the ill effects of excessive screen time, whether at the computer or the television. Researcher Edward Swing, a graduate student at Iowa State University, compared participants who watched TV or played video games less than 2 hours a day to those who watched more. The middle schoolers he studied were a little less likely than the college students to have attention problems with excess TV and video game participation. Swing and his colleagues looked at 2 age groups. They assessed more than 1,300 children in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades over a 13-month time period. They also looked at 210 college students for a one-time evaluation. College students did self-reports on their attention problems. Middle school students spend an average of 4.2 hours a day watching TV or playing video games, the team found, while older students spent 4.8 hours daily. Previous studies have also linked screen time with attention problems. Dr. David Elkind, a professor of child development at Tufts University and author of The Power of Play, said there may well be a relation between television viewing and attention problems. He also said ADHD is 10 times more common today than it was 20 years ago. Although it is clear that ADHD has a genetic basis, given that our genes have not changed in that time frame, it is likely that there are environmental factors that are contributing to this rise. Dr. Elkind pointed out that it makes a difference what kind of show or computer games the child is playing. Shooting games, for instance, are different than problem-solving computer games. The study should have accounted for those variables, but the recommendation of less than 2 hours a day of screen time seems prudent.
In today's tech news, China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology said it is still examining Google's application to renew its content license in the government's first comments on the U.S. company's status since it announced last month that it was changing how users in China access its search service. Wang Lejian, spokesman for the ministry, said Google's application for annual renewal of its Internet Content Provider license came close to the end of June deadline, pushing back the approval process. Mr. Wang said, as Google submitted the application late in June, it is impossible to finish the examination in such a short time. Google's fate in China was called into question again after it said on June 28th that it has resubmitted its application to renew the license after altering its Chinese search homepage in response to government criticism. The regulator has objected to Google's strategy of redirecting Chinese users who tried to access its Chinese address, google.cn, to a site in Hong Kong that Google doesn't censor. Mr. Wang declined to say whether approval was likely for Google. Many analysts had expected that the company would encounter trouble with its Chinese site since it first announced plans in January to stop filtering its Chinese search results, a move that marked a highly unusual public slap by a foreign company at Beijing's censorship practices.
In entertainment news, a spokesman for British singer and TV personality Cheryl Cole says she is being treated in a London hospital for malaria. Her publicist said the 27-year-old performer will have to cancel all work commitments for the next week. Cole reportedly recently returned from a trip to Tanzania. Britain's tabloids reported that Cole, a judge along with Simon Cowell on the British reality talent show The X Factor, collapsed during a photo shoot for her album. The Sun newspaper said that she had been in the hospital for 2 days, but her spokesman declined to offer further details.
Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.